Well, hello, class. For this particular week, week three, coming up already, week three, huh? Before I say anything, I'm making this Sunday before the Super Bowl. So go Pats. All right. So, at any rate, for this particular week, um, as you know, we already covered strategic management. And that was the conduit I said between semester one and semester two. Everything is about strategy. Vision, mission, strategy. How are we going to accomplish our organizational goals? What is the time value line? How long is it going to take us to get to where we need to get? So actually, I'm making this video for both my 10:30 and my 11:30 classes, so they'll apply to both of you concurrently, both classes. So where we're going next with chapter 11 is we're going to be talking about organizational structures and designs. So now, as we said, the four functions of management: planning, organizing, leading, controlling. In organizational structure and design, now we're going to focus on organizing, and that is organizing as a management function. So we're going to this week look at some of the traditional organizational structures, and we're going to be looking at different types of organizations regarding their design. We have vertical, we have horizontal designs, and the idea is with a horizontal design, it's going to be less top heavy on bureaucracy and more, and I don't want to say less structured, but structured in such a way where decisions are made more transparently across the board and they get to be made a lot quicker. Now, in the sacrificing some of the structure with bureaucracies that you've already studied, sometimes in the translation, we could lose some of the intent of the planning process where different parts of the organization will translate information differently than others. But here again, we have the transparency of the horizontal. So less bureaucracy, more transparency, give and takes. We can do a SWOT for both sides of that. So in this particular chapter, I'm going to focus on some of the takeaways and the objectives, which would be defining organizing as a management function, and we're looking at differentiating between the formal and the informal structures. And we're going to look at advantages and disadvantages of the informal and the formal as well. So we're going to also study the differences between functional, divisional, and matrix structures. Interesting. And again, they have their advantages and disadvantages as well. So when you go to the network structure, which of course is very much 21st century structure, networking is the ability to be more transformational and less mechanistic in our design of the structure. So again, I may have said this in the previous class, you look at the structure, the pure management function for what it is, as the hardware. But the software are the people in the structures that move things around. So it's like anything else. Say you have an apartment, right? And you need more room in the apartment. The idea is how can you make things more livable when you want less clutter? you have to design an organization kind of the same way. Where do we have to put the shelves? Where do decisions have to be made? At what end is it more effective in the organization to get information to flow more freely? Okay, so the idea is more organic design, which means more transparency, or more mechanistic design, which means more structure. How does the software best make us competitive when it moves all of the structures around? So these are the types of things we're really going to look at here. You know, you want to build a new wing to a house, you want to put a new deck, you want to put a new room. What do you need to do? You need to get the architects in to design everything, to see what works for you. What do you want? What does an organization need to be more effective? So this essentially is what we're going to be looking for this week. So when we come into class, we're going to become familiar on Monday and Wednesday with the theory on the takeaway questions. What is organizing as a management function? And what are some of the traditional organizational structures? Then we're going to be looking at the types of horizontal structures, and we're going to be looking at how are organizational designs changing the workplace, like how are they put together, the way they're set up. So this is what we're looking at. Look over this chapter before class, and we will see you tomorrow. Go Pats!